to plan your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail. Let's see what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring or fall. You're home in the Rockies as it all. So gear up, get ready to plan your day. The ideas are brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of Good Day Vail. My name is Cece Zach, and I am so excited to bring you an episode on the Vail Valley Partnership. It is a nonprofit that I did not know anything about until I met the president and CEO, Chris Romer, and he is joining us today along with Mike Brown, who is the regional president of Alpine Bank. And through this episode, you're going to learn about the economic vitality of the Vail Valley, the collaboration that needs to happen with all of the key stakeholders from Dotsero all the way to Vail. And this is an episode that you should not miss because it will help you engage with the Vail Valley in the community throughout Eagle. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Good Day Vail.
Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail.
Hi there, and welcome back to Good Day Vail. My name is Cece Zach, and I'm so excited about this episode with Mike Brown and with Chris Romer to help us really learn about the community through Vail Valley Partnership. So Mike and Chris, thank you so much for coming in today in your busy schedule. And one of the things that I love to share with our viewers is why Vail? Our viewers are really keen on, what inspires you about this county and this area. So Chris, how long have you been here? What keeps you here? And, what inspires you about Vail Valley?
Yeah, thank you. It's such a great baseline foundational question for anyone who's here in Eagle County. And when you say Vail, I think Eagle County.
Yes,
and I think the entire Eagle River Valley from Dotsero all the way to Vail Pass, because we really are one economic region, one watershed. Our neighbors live in Gypsum or live in Vail, they live in Avon or they live in Edwards. Those are the people we go to school with and we see at the post office and we work with and everything else. And what brought me here is simple, like very many people. I came for the mountains. I came for the outdoor recreation. I came for the skiing. I always wanted to be in Colorado. I came to school at the University of Colorado, and when I finished up my 4 years there in Boulder, I ended up in Vail because I loved to ski here. I loved the access. I loved the community. And I've been very fortunate to be here ever since, being able to grow a career and raise a family and do all the things that I hope others have the same opportunity to do.
Love that. And Mike, sort of similar situation.
Yeah, some similarities. I originally came from Oklahoma, born and raised there, and had been coming to Colorado with my family for many, many years growing up. So already loved the state, and when I graduated from Oklahoma State University a long time ago in 1990, decided with a group of fellow ex-students to come to Colorado, started in Aspen. Was really going to be there for probably 6 months to a year and decided that, you know what, it's just so lovely and a great place to be that I made it a permanent habit. And I came to Eagle County in the Vail Valley about 25 years ago. I've worked for one company, a community bank, Alpine Bank, great company with wonderful people. And that was another reason that that career kept me in Colorado. So not only the recreation, but really over the years, the community, the chance to serve the community, building a family here over time. Yeah, it's was a 6 or 12 month stint that turned into 32 years.
Well, what I love, and the two of you have a great example of how you've able to build not your life here, but also your career here. And Mike, you're the regional president for 3 different counties here in the mountains, which is just extraordinary because you just said you've been with Alpine for that duration of time. Mm-hmm. Chris, tell us a little bit about your professional career and how you've been able to build that here.
Yeah, the unique thing about running a Chamber of Commerce, such as the Vail Valley Partnership, is that very few people go to school and say, I want to be a Chamber of Commerce executive. I want to run a Chamber of Commerce. Most people don't know what that even is as they're going through their schooling and their education. For me, I came up through hospitality. I worked for Vail Resorts. For a short period, I worked in the hotel and hospitality industry for a number of years. But I was always involved in the community, and I was always volunteering, and I was looking for opportunities to engage outside the four walls of the business that I worked for, and was fortunate enough to be able to find Vail Valley Partnership's predecessor organization,
Yes.
the Chamber and Tourism Bureau, and be able to connect with like-minded professionals and be able to serve on a few different committees. So when a job became available at the partnership, I raised my hand really quickly and said, that's a place I really want to be, to have a bigger impact and a more community impact and be even more engaged in the community. So I was really driven coming up through the hospitality industry and the importance of hospitality to our community, certainly our economic driver and about half of our jobs. But I always kind of in the back of my head wanted more community and wanted more community engagement and involvement and being able to help all the small businesses that exist here. In a community like Eagle County and the Vail Valley, where 90% of our businesses have fewer than 20 employees.
So what is the total number of businesses then?
It's about 2,600
Wow.
in the Eagle River Valley.
Okay.
About 2,600 businesses, and again, 90% of those fewer than 20 or fewer employees, and 80% of them 10 or fewer employees. So we are driven by small businesses. And when the opportunity at the Chamber came open, I really wanted to be able to serve those businesses and help those businesses in what is a challenging business environment.
Extraordinary business environment.
Extraordinary and challenging.
So help our viewers understand what Vail Valley Partnership is, because you've mentioned Chamber, you mentioned a predecessor. I know you rebranded, I think it was in 2007, to Vail Valley Partnership. Help us understand the totality of the organization that you represent.
Yeah, and I'll keep it relatively short because I think it's a long history. So we were incorporated in 1964.
Oh my gosh, that's before...
That's before the town of Vail.
Wow.
As an example. So we're incorporated in 1964 as the Vail Resort Association and grew and changed and morphed over time. The Vail Valley Tourism and Convention Bureau, Vail Valley Chamber and Tourism Bureau, lots of different acronyms. In 2007, our Board of Governors really set forth an aspirational path for us to be the partnership to incorporate economic development, Chamber of Commerce, and tourism services.
Yeah.
And really put all of that umbrella under one organization with an aspirational position to have a bigger impact on our community and help our businesses across all those different sectors that drive our businesses and drive our community.
Wow, that's awesome. And I love the name too, because it really is a partnership. One of the things I've learned in the short time I've been here is that this community is extraordinary, and everyone wants to help everyone, no matter what the objective is. And somehow these partnerships, and I don't mean to use your name, but the community partner, somehow they get aligned incentives. And from where I come from in the healthcare industry, the incentives are never aligned with the people in the ecosystem. So it's such a delight for me to come in and to also talk to you all and showcase the partnerships, which, Mike, that's where you come in. You, being a representative, a senior executive at Alpine Bank, have been a supporter of VVP for a wide variety of years and a wide variety of roles. Mm-hmm. So why? What and why?
Well, the then Vail Chamber was one of the first organizations that I became involved with when I came to the Vail Valley in 1996. I served as what they called then an ambassador. So I was with a group of like-minded young professionals. So I literally saw the chamber grow over the years as the communities grew and as the business communities grew. Fast forward to just a few years ago, under Chris's leadership, I've become one of the Vail Valley Partnership Board of Governors, and I'm very proud to serve there. But it is a wonderful organization in terms of not only having a group of businesses, a wide variety of businesses represented within the Vail Valley, but also engaged with the community, with the business community on any variety of projects, programs, and topics that pertain to all of our industries.
So, Chris, you mentioned how many businesses were part. What is the number of employees does that represent?
Yeah, so there's a total of about 35,000 in the workforce in Eagle County. About 30,000, just over 30,000 in the Eagle River Valley from Dotsero to Vail. Our membership makes up over 80% of that workforce. So the businesses who are and organizations that are members of the Vail Valley Partnership equates to about 80% of our workforce. So we really have a wide swath of industries and geographies and different business sectors represented under the partnership umbrella.
And how much of that does Vail Resorts represent?
Yeah, Vail Resorts is our largest employer.
Okay.
They have more employees than anybody else. For obvious reasons, they're our economic driver, and they require a lot of workforce to run those resorts and those mountains and those hotels and other businesses that they're involved in. So as a total, they probably make up just over 10% or 12% of our local workforce.
Okay, but that's it. To me, that's smaller than what I would have anticipated.
Yeah, and it might be a little bit higher because those numbers aren't public, so I don't know exactly, but I have a good idea.
Okay. So with that, gentlemen, I would just love to understand what is the mission. If you could briefly, before we go on to station break, what's the mission of EVP?
Yeah, I think we should quiz our board member, Mike Brown, on what our mission is to see if he has it memorized. I tease a little bit. Our mission is actually really straightforward. We have a 2-word mission statement, and our mission is to lead collaboration. That is what we do. That is our true north. How do we lead collaboration through our programs and our advocacy and the things that we do?
Okay, so with that, gentlemen, we're going to take a very short station break, and we're going to come back and quiz Mike on something else. But this is Cece Zach, this is Good Day Vail, and please stay tuned for the second half of our episode about Vail Valley Partnerships. We'll be right back.
Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail.
Hi there, I'm Cece Zach, and welcome back to this extraordinarily educational episode on Vail Valley Partnership. I am with Chris Romer and Mike Brown to talk about what you need to know to get involved and become engaged. So, Chris, when we just left, we talked about the mission of Vail Valley Partnership. Now, help me understand a little bit more about the goals of the organization.
Yeah, our goals, I would point first to our vision, which is community vitality, because the goals build up to that vision of community vitality. And the idea that we have 3 kind of buckets, if you will, and they're integrated and they're connected, but we have 3 roles that we play in the community. One is tourism services and group sales and destination marketing efforts to support our largest industry sector, to support the businesses that rely on our tourism sector, and working closely with all the different stakeholders there. Number 2 is the Chamber of Commerce. And the Chamber of Commerce is the genesis of who we are as an organization, and it's the business services. It's existing to serve the businesses and provide them the tools and the programs and the resources to succeed in this place. And the third is economic development, and that idea of economic vitality and supporting small businesses and new businesses and growth of existing businesses, and providing a voice for all of our businesses from an advocacy standpoint and a legislative standpoint. And so those 3 efforts, tourism and chamber, business services, and economic development, data and research and resources, connect to the umbrella that is Vail Valley Partnership. So those are kind of the 3 big buckets, all leading to that idea of community vitality, and how do we, through our efforts and through our team and through our board of governors and our volunteers, help make this community more attainable and accessible and more livable, and give businesses the opportunity to thrive and employ people and grow and do all the things that we want successful communities to do.
So you'd mentioned the 3 buckets. So that's how you're organized. Tell us a little bit about how you're funded, because clearly you need the resources to be able to pull this off.
Yeah, we do. And so we have 3 buckets of funding as well. That's not exactly aligned with the 3 programs of work, but one is membership dues. And about a third of our revenue comes from membership, businesses and organizations opting in to be a partner and to participate in our programs, which leads to the second revenue bucket, which is our programming. We run a variety of leadership programs and workforce programs and different initiatives for people to engage with the organization and have opportunities for their staff to engage and be involved and receive workforce training and things along those lines. So that's our second bucket of funding, is our programming. And the third bucket is contracts for services rendered. So we contract with organizations for administrative services to run programs such as the EGE Air Alliance, to run and coordinate group sales in partnership with Beaver Creek Resort Company and the Vail Local Marketing District. So these contracts for services where we provide a specific service to an entity and they contract with us every year to fulfill those duties. That's our third bucket of funding. So most of the funding comes from those 3 buckets. Then we have a few miscellaneous programs and things that we do. But that's the buckets of funding, and it's actually breaks out pretty close to about a third each.
Okay, so Mike, now you represent one of the members, personally and from the bank's perspective as well. How do you use all of the amazing tools that the organization has to offer the community?
I'll try to be brief. I mean, the direct benefit, I think, comes from something Chris just mentioned, programs that deal with the attraction, retention, and development of our employees, career-wise, which is
something that we need now in this valley. We need it throughout the United States.
Always needed, but probably more than ever.
Now,
yeah, and career-wise, which is the apprenticeship program administered through the Vail Valley Partnership, but it is a partnership also including Colorado Mountain College, as well as the local school district and companies, where we take in apprentices who are interested in various professions like banking or lodging or construction. Also, Vail Valley Works, again, administered through the partnership, which provides leadership programs for employees. I have a few employees within Alpine Bank who are part of that program and who are benefiting from it. There are also community forums on the state of the economy, on specific areas like construction and housing, that a lot of business owners have benefited from, to go to learn and to discuss with other businesses and business leaders about what's going on in our valley, both presently and in the future. And then, of course, there are a number of areas where the partnership has been a key advocate and collaborator with the community. The newly formed Regional Transit Authority, which is long-term going to benefit
my understanding
our employees
is,
and so forth.
Well, VVP was instrumental in helping, educate and then ultimately getting the momentum to pass the bill. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, that's fine. And then finally, I think about the EGE Air Alliance, which Chris just mentioned. That's a group of businesses and business representatives working together to attract more flights and more business to and from the Eagle County Regional Airport. And that is a benefit to all of our businesses, including mine, my customers, and so forth.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And, as a businesswoman by trade, I find everything that you're offering, Chris, just absolutely extraordinary. I mean, it just is top notch. How can individuals get involved with VVP and what you have to offer?
Yeah, simply reach out to us. We can be found on any of the social channels. We can be found at our website at vailvalleypartnership.com. You can come by the office at the Riverwalk. You can call us. Whatever works best for you, reach out to us. We have...
can I interrupt for a second?
Please.
Do I have to be an employee of one of your members, or can I become a member on my own?
Yeah, individuals can join.
Okay.
So we have a community membership to allow individuals to join, and certainly businesses are able to join, and all of their employees then are eligible to participate and engage in our programming. So we have an open door policy, right?
I love that.
Everyone's welcome in our proverbial big tent. Because we really want to represent sole entrepreneurs, and we want to represent small businesses and big businesses and emerging businesses and new businesses. So the opportunity exists. We have a program advisory council. We have an economic leadership council. These are things that anyone can engage in and participate in. We have leads groups. We have after-hour events. We have a lot of opportunities for people to grow their networks, expand their networks, not just the training programs Mike mentioned, but their professional network and their social network as well.
There's a lot of, I don't know if I could call them retired, because I don't think most of our community members ever want to retire. But if you had a tip to provide to the community that have had significant business or economic experience, how would you like to see them be involved as volunteers?
Yeah, interestingly at the partnership, unlike a lot of nonprofits, we're not looking for a lot of people to donate their time or their money with the organization. What we would love for them to do is engage where it's meaningful to them. So stay involved with our economic development committee, or stay involved with some of the task forces that we have on specific topics, and find ways to give back and engage in ways that are meaningful to you, and mentorship opportunities and business support services, or even something that is not our program, but I think is very beneficial to our business community, the Small Business Development Center, to be able to help coach and mentor emerging businesses and startup businesses. So if you reach out to us, we're happy to point you in the direction that most aligns with your interest and your background and your skill sets.
Yeah. So Mike, you had talked a little bit about how you utilize some of the fabulous tools at VVP. When we were talking earlier too, there was, you were talking about some of the really impactful programs that the community, now you did mention the EGA Air Alliance, you did mention the regional transit. Is there anything else that comes to mind that the community should know that VVP had, probably an unspoken component to creating an impact in the community?
Well, I think being a part of the Vail Valley Partnership as a business, whatever your size of business, however many employees you have, whatever your industry is within the Vail Valley, I think that there are any number of programs that you will find as a business owner, whether it's to get knowledge about the business community, whether it's to learn what's going on economically within the Vail Valley, whether it's to avail yourselves, depending upon the size of your business, of programs that the Vail Valley Partnership is working on now or helping to facilitate, such as insurance programs and so forth. Or, as I said, and I've benefited from this through Alpine Bank, development of employees, especially your young leaders. I think there's just a variety of things that the partnership has developed over time that will benefit the knowledge and the success of businesses throughout the Valley.
And you mentioned insurance. For me to clarify for myself and the viewers, you're talking about health insurance, correct?
Correct.
And I would love just one, sentence about that initiative.
Yeah, I'll turn it over to my
Yeah,
partner
I'll
here,
take that one.
He's been the man on the front lines with that.
Yeah, so we created the Mountain Healthcare Coalition.
Oh, wow.
Which is an entity, a healthcare purchasing collaborative, a purchasing alliance, and we created that and are going through the regulatory process with the state of Colorado in hopes of bringing a new, more affordable health insurance program to our community members and to our small businesses, as well as to our self-insured groups. So really trying to tackle it from all sides within the state regulatory process and system, working closely with our partners at Vail Health and working closely with insurance payer partners. And so we hope to bring that to the market here before too long.
Oh my God, that is so exhilarating. And we probably have to do another show on that, because that in itself is just something that the community needs to hear, that there are alternatives out there than Obamacare.
And this is a good example of why the VVP is an issue-oriented organization as well within the business community. Insurance is an area that, especially in the Rocky Mountains, is a very difficult issue for,
I can vouch for that.
yes, for Vail Valley employers and employees. Another issue is housing, very quickly. This is an area where Chris, his staff, the Board of Governors, as well as members, have very vocally supported efforts to include more housing within the area, because that's a huge issue for businesses and especially our employees.
I tell you, we've got another episode coming up between health insurance, housing. But gentlemen, thank you so much for your time, your wisdom, and your leadership within this community, because without the two of you, this wouldn't be happening. So thank you, viewers, for sticking with us today on Good Day Vail and discussing Vail Valley Partnership. And please, if you have any interest in donating your own skills, times, or interest, please go to the Vail Valley Partnership website and tool around on it. It is a fantastic website. You'll learn a lot, and you'll find a place for yourself. I also want to thank Mike with Alpine Bank for being such a huge supporter for Vail Valley Partnership. So have a great day. Everyone, I'm Cece Zach. Good Day Vail. Cheers.
On your way, the fun is waiting outside your door.